Hi everyone. Okay, first, you know that I don't speak very well, so please forgive me. I want to make this video because 20 days ago, I asked everyone on Facebook to pray for me because I was feeling very bad. I was very ill since March, the end of March. I started feeling some back pain, and I couldn't be sitting like I am right now. I couldn't be standing up. Being on bed, it was painful anyway. This pain was constant, and I was getting so tired and for the pain because you have to be feeling pain. So the doctor starts sending me different type of medicine, all type of shots in the morning, shots in the afternoon, shots in the noon, and anything did me well. Um, it went from my lower back pain, start feeling my legs more like crumbling, like like I don't know. It started feeling like burning also. Then I was on bed definitely because I couldn't be on my feet. I was so desperate because I was on bed already for like a month and a half. Someone advised me to do some ozonotherapy. And this ozonotherapy are like they put you a needle in your vertebrae, the one that is supposed to have an hernia, because what the doctor saw on my RM and for the lower back was an hernia. So he said, oh, it must be the hernia that actually I can see it's swallowed. So let's do everything to make it back unswallowed. So this ozonotherapy, I must confess, the first one, it killed me. It was like a torture, but it was the only one that put me back on my feet, so I could walk. But then I went to the pain when it didn't go away. I just could walk, but then I felt that I was again I felt like all my back, my lower back, I felt like it was like stretching, like someone in this inside was like pushing you. So I talked to my family doctor, my head doctor, and said, I cannot support the pain. I mean, anything is doing it. Anything is working. So he said, Betsy, I know that the hernia is very small, but since you're like that, let's send you to the neurochirurgo. So I went to the neurochirurgo. I'm not sure if that's the name in English. And she saw me and make some tests and said, you do have an hernia, but it's a small hernia, and it's not the reason. I mean, the symptoms that you have are not related to what you have. I mean, to an hernia. It's not. So, but that day when she made the exam, I already started to lose my equilibrium. If I close my eyes, she made me some tests where I have to close my eyes and walk. So I went like I lose, and I have to go to the right or to the left. And she said, I have to see all your column. I need to send you 2 RMs, one for the dorsal column and one for the cervical, to see if you have something else. I did those tests and those exams, and it came that, yes, I do have another hernia in my cervical, and I have some other things. But when I took it to the doctor said, yeah, but it's nothing. I mean, we cannot see something that related with the symptoms. And by that point, I was feeling so bad. My body, I mean, when she said that it wasn't the hernia in my lower pain, I said, okay, then you know what? No more bed. I have to stand up. I have to do whatever I have to do to be on my feet and try to do my life like a normal life. I tried. It was a lie. When I was walking, like after 10 minutes, my whole body shut me down. I felt like, I don't know if one of you have been seeing this movie Matrix. I felt like something unplugged me, and my whole body loses strength. I was like, boom, and my body, my legs, especially my legs, lose all the strength. And my husband or the people that was around me have to pull me, and I felt like it was a huge truck behind me that I was pulling in with my body. it was very hard, and this situation started desperate me a lot and a lot, and almost all the exams, and because the COVID, it took time. So it was like 2 months and a half, and I was in bed. It got to a point where when I was talking to you, I was like, what, to anyone, sorry, I have to think what to say. I mean, usually we should do that. But what I mean, I was talking, but I was like, okay, I have to say, in my mind, I was like, say hello. And then I say hello. I have to command myself. You know, usually you do things automatically. Oh, that word make me. But in my case, I have to like order it, and your tongue, you don't feel it when you talk. I mean, you don't realize you have to move it, and I was to a point where I have to command my tongue to move in order to talk. And then the last thing was, I was in the car with my husband, and he said, let's go out, let's go let's go to the beach and to the sea, and breathe something else. And I was in the car, and the car for me, I was there, and then suddenly my whole world was spinning. I felt like we got in the car accident, and it was spinning and spinning, and I just hold my head, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I couldn't say what it was happening to me, because I just have to hold my head to be like still. And then when it passed, I told to my husband, I don't know. I mean, I just felt like something when like the car was spinning. So we got to the sightsee, to the seaside, and my husband and my son helped me to stand on my feet, helped me to walk a little bit, but I couldn't. I mean, I must confess, that day I felt like I was gonna pass away. And I talked to my son, and then I told my husband, I say, I want to go home, and I want to be all four of us. My daughter was in my home, so I said, take me home, and I just want to be with you. So he took me home, and when I got home, we just had something to eat, and I went to bed, tried to sleep. But during all night, my head was spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So in the morning, I went to my neurology doctor, an emergency, and he saw me, and he checked me out. He do some checks, some physical checks. He passed me some things on my body to see how the stimulation, how the nerves were. And I saw his face, and he said, you have to be hospitalized right away, but because the COVID, we have to find a place in the neurochirurgical unit. So let me see. That I will make sure to find it. But meanwhile, he told my husband, you have to do all these type of, was blood test, was the COVID test, and the RM for my brain. And then, well, I went home. He called me half an hour later and said, I found you a place, I found you a bed, but it's next Monday. And he called my husband back to his office. He said, come here and we have to talk. My husband didn't say anything to me, but I could tell. I mean, you can tell. I felt my body, and I saw the eyes of the doctor and say, okay, this is bad. So that day was when I sat down on my computer and I said, my very close friends, my pastors, my church were praying for me, but I said, this is the time where the whole people, I mean, everyone can pray for me. So I wrote you guys on Facebook and say, please, if you have time, if you feel, please pray for me. And after that day, I started doing all my tests. And when my husband, thanks God, he moved very fast. And pain, we went to some private clinics, like to do the exams and my RM for the brain. We found in a private clinic like an hour and a half far away from where we live. So I was laying in the car because I couldn't be sitting down like I'm here. And we drove over there. They did everything. For the glory of God, the test of my brain came clean. Today, my husband told me, he said, the day that the doctor called me back to his office, he said, we're not saying that she might have something. We're saying she has something. Or it's a brain tumor, or it's a illness that is called sclerosis multiple. I'm not sure how I pronounce it, but it's sclerosis multiple. And we just have to find out how advanced it is and try to slow it. So, well, we start praying, right? And when we got to the next Monday, when the day that the other neurochirurg was have to see me, and he did the same test that my neurology did to me. He said, "You know what? Thanks God. I mean, we can see that the arm came clean, and I did a test, and nothing is showing me that you have anything. So my conclusion is that you are stressed, and this is a stress. And I will send you some drops. And when I saw the drops, it were for depression. Obviously, being in bed for 3 months can make you a depressed person. But I wasn't crying. I wasn't, like feeling happy or sad. But I must confess that I was fighting against that, because it was hard. Feel like you cannot do whatever you used to do. My thoughts and my prayers were, and my inspiration, I must say, I remembered this guy that I'm so sorry, I forgot his name, how you pronounce it, but the guy that doesn't have legs and arms and legs, but he still do God's ministry. So I said, you know what, even though I'm on bed, I have to do my ministry. I have to serve God. So I did by Zoom. I work in the computer. I organize all the event. This is my backyard, and we do a church at home. So I put a mattress over there, and during the service, during all the meeting, I was just laying in a mattress, and I said, I will be with my people. I will be with with my family. I will be with my spiritual family, praising the Lord, and see where God take me. But it's so that day that the doctor said, "Oh, you're stressed," I just said, "Okay." Then I will go to a spa. I will take a break. I told my husband, "Listen, I have to leave you." I turned in everything. I gave my sister-in-law all my office work. I quit every ministry that I had. I cannot quit everything, but mainly all the things that I have to organize in my head, I just turn it in. And I went to the spa. And that day, before taking the pills that the doctor sent me, I felt how God healed me, how His hand were on my body. And I remember we went to the restaurant in the hotel, and the restaurant was like, we were like in a balcony, and we have to go downstairs like 2 floors. And I went down very slowly, but I could do it. Before that, when I was trying to walk, like I said, before the day that I went to the doctor, because I was feeling very bad. If I was in a very small climb, let's say, inclination, I couldn't do it. I couldn't go upstairs, no 2 stairs, no 1 stair. If the street had a pending or a inclination, like a little hill, I couldn't do it. People have to hold me, and it was very, very painful. But that day I went downstairs and I went upstairs very slowly with my mom helping and everything, but I did it. So the next morning, I took the pill that the doctor sent me. I talked to the doctor and said, doctor, I don't want to take this pill because I have to be active. I'm a very active person, and I have to be awake. I cannot be all dizzy or dumb, I said, no, don't worry. This pill doesn't do that to you. This pill will give you strength, and you're going to be more active. I'm like, okay. When I took the pill, I became like a dumb person. I'm sorry, but I became like all dizzy and, like sleepy person. The people were talking to me, and I was like, okay. Like I was here, but I wasn't here. And I went to bed and I sleep all afternoon. I never sleep in the afternoon, never. And that day I sleep all afternoon. I woke up like at 7, and then I went to sleep again. So the next morning I talked to my husband and said, I'm not going to do this. And I'm not going to do this, not because I don't feel that medicine will help you, because I do. But I feel how God start his his work on me before the pill. And because the pill is not gonna let me be myself, and I have to be me. So he said, okay, don't take it. And I start recuperating. I start being myself again. Now I can walk. Now I can clean that I couldn't clean. You don't have no idea how happy I was the day I couldn't clean my house. And I went to do groceries. I'm trying not to exaggerate. I'm not completely myself, but I know that God promised us that He's the one who started His job in me, and He's how do you say it in English? He's loyal to finish what He started, and I believe that, and I give praise to the Lord, to our Lord, because I know that all these things, all what happened to me, is for His glory. The day I felt that the doctor said that I have something, I said, you know, God, I will serve you until the last day of my life. I will serve you. And I know, and I give you thank you. I give thanks to you because you chose me. You chose me to put this on me. And I will just praise you. Praise the Lord for whatever you put on my hands, and I will be used for your glory. Whatever it happened, you're using me for your glory. And I thanks you, God. Today I'm here, and like I said, I'm not 100% me in the way that I still have some limitations, but I'm sure I'm going to be okay. And I really thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you, because I know that prayers change things. Prayer, I feel, like when Joseph were downhill fighting the war, and Moses have his arm, in high, hold it. I feel like that. I feel like my arms were lifted by your prayers. I feel like I did my war because you hold me on prayers. So, thank you.